What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown Media. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the Adjacent Hex podcast. I will be your host this evening along with my good buddy Mike. His name is also known as Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
It's going wonderful. I'm glad to be here. If not, I apologize for being late.
Dude, I was late too. I got caught up watching Vinesauce Joel and just absolutely busting a gut over it. Strongly recommend. If you haven't checked out that on YouTube, just give it a Google. Vinesauce Joel destroys, and then enter any random Windows operating system, and there's, I guarantee, footage of him destroying it with viruses and other such shenanigans. It's very funny. Anyway, this is the show where Mike and I hang out on a Saturday night and paint minis, because everybody knows that a miniatures painter has, if they ever run out of projects to do, they will die, but they also have to keep up with the constant influx of new projects. So tonight, I will be painting, finally starting on the Cog from Gears of War. Mike, what do you got?
I have both Padme and Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars era Legion minis.
And I see they're actually like official Legion models too. I know some of the ones you did a few weeks ago were not. So
yeah, the Mandalorian ones were not, but yeah, these are all official.
That's awesome. That's really exciting. All right, as with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, let's get down to painting. Yes, painting. Which one's the painting one? There it is. Okay.
So, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right off the bat. I've got the Twitch stream up on on my other monitor.
Yeah.
And your Arkham Horror shirt is like just the right shade of green to get the grid lines.
I know. I did that on purpose.
Okay. I think it's funny.
Yeah, no, I definitely that was definitely intentional. So right up on the first up on the chop. I can't talk tonight. First up on the chopping block tonight is Dominic Santiago, my buddy Doug's favorite character. I've also got the Cole Train hanging out over here with his bolo grenade. We'll see how far we get on these, and then we'll have Marcus and Damon Baird next week. At least that is the intention. Some reference images. So Dom is pretty straightforward. There's kind of no bells and whistles to his uniform at all. But I'm experimenting with a couple of new flesh tones this week, which I'm pretty excited about. So I'm going to make heavy use of the Citadel paint tab tonight. Starting out with a fairly familiar color, though, if I can find it. It's Bugman's Glow.
That's a solid color.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I have the dreaded task of working on with lots of whites.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Whites, for some reason, whites just, don't hold up.
And, washes don't really work well over them, and
right, exactly.
Dirty and nasty. Although I could be, when I was showing Casey this mini of Padme, she was asking me if I was brave enough to try and do the midriff tear from episode 2.
Ooh.
From the bat. I'm like, the model's it doesn't have the mold lines to make that look good. I'm not skilled enough to try and pull that off.
Right. Yeah, that would be entirely freehand. I would not be confident enough to do that.
Although I guess this model is designed to look like the beginning of the fight before the Nexu rips her clothes off. So because white is terrible, I am starting with an ivory, slightly off-white.
Yeah, that's generally what I do too. The Rakarth Flesh has been working really, really nicely for me lately. I'll be doing some of that on Cole later.
cups tomorrow. Although I might go the full ceramic white on like Obi-Wan's like laminate armor.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's been so long since I've painted like human flesh tone. So one of the things that's going to be unique about this is I'm actually using earth shade instead of a flesh shade on this model, because Dom has slightly darker skin than, for example, Marcus. And I was really excited to find that I did indeed have almost all the colors that I need for Cole's flesh, which is very dark. And I was also really proud of Games Workshop for labeling it as a flesh tone, because like there are so many more flesh colors than just, you know, this peachy stuff that I've been that I work with.
Yeah.
It was just really nice to see them doing some inclusion, being as inclusive as possible, as we say on the show. Hey, RPD.
I apologize, it's much later for you too, RPD. Much later.
No, not doing a mural of a snow goose. I honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, RPD, it's your fault. I got caught up watching Vinesauce Joel videos. I'm kidding. It's not your fault at all. Although, I mean, you and Taffy definitely were the ones that introduced me to Vinesauce Joel. It's Taffy's fault, yeah. It's Taffy's fault for introducing me and your fault for perpetuating it. I'm 100% kidding. I tried to show my wife the Vinesauce Joel videos the other day, or this afternoon rather, and she was like, this isn't funny. I'm like, but it's so funny. Indeed, Joel perpetuates himself. Alright. Does it for the Bugman's Glow. That was easy. Alright. I guess... Unboxing a MIDI boombox. I did see I saw the post, RPD. I did not look at it yet. I have to do that. I definitely have to do that. just in case, I'm gonna rescan this model into the Citadel Paint app because I'm scared. That is dark blue. Okay, that's easy to remember. Wait a minute, I can just do. Marvel is I can't decide which color to choose. Okay. App is saying Rhinox hide, so I'm going for it. Oh. The paint is wet. Miss Drake, how's it going with you? Oh, yeah, I hear that. I spent all day in the comic mines, which I did not expect to do because normally my boss is out on Saturdays and I'm just sitting on the store floor waiting for dummies to come in and try and buy things. So I sorted 11 and a half long boxes worth of comics today. Suffice it to say, I am comicked out. So, Mike, you were asking before the show about our Arkham game yesterday.
Yeah.
How'd that go? Well, it started out awesomely. Miss Drake, I'll get to your question in just a second. And you know, like the first couple of turns, we were like, okay, yeah, we got this, no problem. And then everything went to hell. Mm-hmm. It was a bit more like a traditional game of Arkham in that regard. Yeah, Arkham became... Oh, yeah, that's right. Arkham rapidly became overrun with monsters. That was a thing that happened. I think we had... I mean, so first edition doesn't have a monster limit. Or an outskirts or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, if it had, we would have definitely hit it. RPD, do you have an estimate of how many monsters there were? I mean, there were a ton. Miss Drake, how many books fit in a long box? It's something like
200?
200? Yeah.
So our Arkham game yesterday went along swimmingly.
Oh, good. You said you were playing the Forgotten Age?
Yeah. So we were on the second scenario, and I was playing. I have Father Mateo.
Mm-hmm. Good choice for that campaign. Oh my goodness.
So I'm the flex. We've got one player is Mandy as the clue gatherer.
Yep, absolutely.
One is Mark Harrigan as our monster hunter.
Makes sense.
We have a third player who's Yorick.
Okay.
And that's mostly a punchy, but has a little bit of tech to get some clues. And I'm just like a flex. Like I can pull out Shriveling if I find it or need it, or Sixth Sense or various other things like that, to bounce around however I'm needed. We were on the second mission, and so pretty much everyone was. Our two fighters were dealing with snake people. Mandy was like staying behind and getting clues, and I was just running through the Explore deck by myself.
Ugh. That's exactly what happened to us when we ran it.
The great thing about it, because I figured with Explore decks and everything coming up, I started with a myriad of the 3 open gates in my deck.
Yep.
Between my first 5-card draw and my mulligan, I managed to pull out 2 of them to start with.
Nice.
So I immediately dropped the 1 on the starting location and was like, I'm just going to start exploring, and when I get like a moderate way through, I'm going to throw another one down.
Yep, that makes sense.
So did that and ended up drawing my 3rd one.
Oh.
And we'd gotten to the, like, I kept exploring until I got to, like, the Chamber of Time or whatever at the end. And it was like, oh, we need to go back to the beginning? Done.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we all, like, aced out of there, like, as soon as we got to it.
So here's a question for you. When
Yeah.
we did that scenario most recently, we were debating the relative merits of I'm Out of Here.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about that card?
I'm Out of Here's the rogue card that's just like, I resign, I'm done.
Yes. It's if there is a resign action, take that from anywhere, basically.
Yeah. It's very situational.
Yep.
Guaranteed a majority of scenarios have like a resign option somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be able to get resign if need be. But for the most part, if you don't reach a resolution because like everyone's resigned or defeated and stuff,
Yep.
it's not better for them having to resign. Except for
Fair.
maybe they don't get trauma.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Because Sammy and I are... Well, Sammy is firmly in the camp of, oh my god, that card is just completely broken. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's so situational that I don't really care. And Alex is like, it's a must-have for rogues. So we're very divided on it.
No. Yeah, I don't think it's like a must-have. I think it's decent, but aside from missions where it's like everyone needs to resign for some reason,
Yep.
like I wouldn't use it that often.
Fair.
But the rest of my Mateo deck is pretty much built around trying to trigger his Elder Sign ability.
Yeah, of course.
So my starting 5 experience went into the Myriad for Empower, so because that's only 2.
Oh,
to
that's
get
the...
card.
Yeah, that's right.
They only take up 1 arcane slot, so I can have all 3 of them. And essentially, at that point in time, especially if I get like the agility boost,
Yep.
like if I get a treachery, it's like, okay, well, I get a +2 to my 3 agility. Surprise, that's pretty good in Forgotten Age.
Yeah.
But even then, if I don't have like his intelligence is a 3, so being able to investigate at a 5 at like once per turn if needed without using any of my spells.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
solid.
Yep.
The punching I can live without, but okay, it's in there. And then my other like 3 experience from the starting 5 was a Eucatastrophe, because
Mhm.
there's blessed cards that actually matter now.
Right.
And if you change your stat to a 0, it counts as an Elder Sign, so
Yeah.
that gives you a free action or a draw card and a resource, so
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah,
Mateo,
and then
Mateo's so good.
the with the experience we got from the first 2 scenarios, I've already got 2 Seal of the Elder signs.
Nice.
So it's just commit this card counts as an as an Elder sign.
Nice.
And yeah, and I've just been rolling with that, essentially building my deck to try and trigger that as much as possible.
Nice. The guy we had, so we had Father Mateo show up in Night of the Zealot, and we didn't really like, aside from the guy who was playing him not really knowing what he was doing, we didn't really know what we were doing in terms of deck building either. Also, some of the options that are really dope for him now did not exist at that point.
Yeah.
So, it's been a really interesting journey in terms of like, oh, hey, look at this card. This would have been great, had we had it, in Carcosa or Forgotten Age, or we're only halfway through Forgotten Age, but one of these days we'll be able to get back to that campaign. But I think we're putting that on hold while Sammy's away.
Yeah.
We're trying to convince Jared and our friend Logan to be our other 2 for Dream Eaters, so we can play with you and Casey.
Yeah.
But we're still trying to work out the logistics of playing at the store.
Yeah.
Because, like, ideally, we'll be, what we'll do is we'll set up like a rental model, so people can, we have 2 rooms, 3 rooms, each with a table. Each one can be rented out, and they're fully closed off, 6 feet, whatever. And then we'll see how that works. And it'll literally be like, okay, you pay X number of dollars, you have it for so many hours. And everybody's wearing masks and 6 feet apart. Nobody's eating. It's going to be kind of a miserable experience in terms of like what we're used to for. Whoa, I have Siri going off. It's going to be kind of a miserable experience in terms of what people are used to for gaming, but like I feel like it's just what's kind of required right now.
Hey, it's gaming, so
yeah,
at least you're doing something.
Yep, that's for sure. We've been sort of beta testing it with the usual suspects who play Terraforming Mars on a fairly regular basis around the store.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good talk with my boss today about board games moving forward. One of the big concerns, as we noted on the Arkham stream, is Asmodee continues to be, for lack of a better term, dickish. And
still no updates. But
like even on the retail end, they're continuing to screw people over. And so my boss said, all right, how do we... Now we have to manage their, order channel as well, and their margins aren't as good. So how do we do this? And I said, all right, look, easiest way is for me to just sit down with our subscription customers when they come in and just solicit orders from them, on the spot. And he goes, okay. Are you willing to do that? I'm like, absolutely. Just leave it open and I'll take care of it. Which means basically I get more say in what gets ordered for our store, which I'm really happy about.
I just took that to mean more Arkham gets ordered for your store.
No, yes, but like we automatically already order. I think our standard order is 4 copies of everything that comes out for Arkham.
Mm-hmm.
So that fulfills all our subscription customers plus at least one for the shelf. So that's another update, Miss Drake. We're killing singles sales for Magic.
Ooh.
Yeah, at least for the time being. We have consistently been the biggest store in the state in terms of singles, but what the heck? Oh,
What's wrong?
my monitor's all screwed up, I think. Either that or my green screen's screwing up. Well, that shouldn't be. It's just my preview window. Are you... Broody, you're looking at the chat. Or at the stream. Yeah. Are you seeing like a bunch of green dots everywhere?
No.
Okay. So it's just my monitor, or it's just my preview window then. That's bizarre. What if I do this? Huh. That's weird. All right. Anyway, yeah. It's a ton of work, and we don't have any like specialist magic staff right now. You know, it's we had my buddy Matt for a long time, and then he moved to Philadelphia. And the rest of us don't care about magic, to be perfectly blunt about it. And my boss was like, all right, you know, nobody's playing at our store. They're buying cards. That's fine. But it's not worth the trouble to keep the inventory when we could just sell it and gain liquidity and then start to build up the collection again. We've done it, you know, 3 or 4 times before. It's worked out so far. And, you know, we'll basically hedge into, like, Warhammer's doing really, really well right now. Board games are doing really, 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 really well right now. We'll just double down. And, you know, comics are about to pick up, too, because I've been cranking those out like a madman. I'm up to A now. Started sorting Amazing Spider-Man today, which is great, because, you know, I mentioned it because you're wearing the Spider-Man shirt.
Yeah. This, I think, is probably one of the oldest t-shirts I have.
My wife put a moratorium on me ordering t-shirts.
I was going to say, I think this is a replacement. I got my original one like in 6th grade, and I think I got this one in high school.
Sure.
From Islands of Adventure.
Oh, like, gotcha.
The only one that was like in this style.
Yeah. They were my buddy and I went to Six Flags New England. Must have been my first summer back after college. And we went on the Superman ride, and they were having, so normally you buy the I Survived the Ride of Steel shirt, whatever, and instead they were having a sale on Aquaman t-shirts.
That's awesome.
So we have Aquaman t-shirts that say saving our oceans from trash and crime. Which is like the most quintessentially Aquaman thing I can think of, and I love it.
It reminds me of that meme. It was like, you know, like that a little comic strip or whatever. Someone's like, it's like Batman talking to Aquaman, and it's like, what do you even do? And he's like, and Aquaman responds with like it's like, I protect the oceans from all of the villains that like threaten it. He's like, I've never heard of any ocean villains, and Aquaman's like, yeah, because I do my job.
Ooh, shots fired! Way to go, Aquaman! Dude, one of my favorite moments in the New 52 was when it was in Justice League, which is not a comic I typically read, because I hate Superman. Like, I actively hate Superman.
Oh, I really hope this is what I'm thinking it is.
When Superman is just missing in action, and Aquaman busts into the Hall of Justice and is like, who is in charge here? Nobody? Great, I guess it's me. And takes the Justice League on some thing. I was like, that
Okay.
is the most baller moment that Aquaman has ever or will ever have.
That is not the one I was thinking of. My favorite bit was from the opening arc of the Darkseid War.
Yep. Oh, I think I
And
know
he,
what you're talking
shows
about.
up, and he like shows up, and everyone's like, "Okay, what are you gonna do?" And then like the parademons start like flying into Odeka City, and he just like looks at them, and this giant shark comes out of the ocean, and just eats a mouthful of all the parademons.
Yep.
I was just like, "Yep, that's awesome."
Yeah, that was great. I loved that moment. Aquaman was a beast in New 52.
Yes, he was. And when Jeff Johns got him, it was like, okay, he's not as much of a joke as everyone thinks he is from Super Friends.
Right.
I'm gonna treat him like with actual respect and get people to realize like how much of a good character he is.
Yeah. So
Aside from like
yeah.
Peter David run from the 90s.
Right, exactly. But yeah, my friend Megan always rags on me for caring about Aquaman, and like really, the more she rags on me about it, the more I'm like, oh my god, I just need to stick it to, you know, I just need to double down, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened with me. Like throughout college, I was like, you know, he's not as bad as everyone makes him out to be. And just having to defend him because no one else would for so long turned me into like a really big fan.
Mistrix says, chopping off his own hand and getting a cool hook is pretty up there. Yeah, I completely agree with you. The hook hand was rad. Aquaman's had some really good character designs too, like...
Yeah. Although, like, I like that Aquaman story from the from Justice League when he showed up and he chopped off his hand. Like how he actually lost his hand in the comics when like the dude's just goodness, who was it? I forget the villain at the time, but he was just like stuck his hand in a river filled with piranhas.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
whatever.
Oh, crap. So I swapped out... I basically did a full palette swap on my paint rack here. Because the locusts are all, you know, like reds and stuff, and the cog are very blue.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty... It's nice to have some different colors on this tray.
I was gonna say, I need to reorganize my paint rack. I had a mishap Wednesday when I was up here playing D&D.
Ooh.
I reached over to grab something from the side and bumped it, and like the wood broken token things just like separated, and all of them just fell down.
Oh no.
So like I kind of have them in like they're all at different angles and stuff.
Yep.
But I'm like I need to actually like put these back together and sort the pots that went every which way.
Yeah, I had to do that a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was right before we went live. I knocked them everywhere, and I was so mad at myself. Alright, the smaller brush. It's time to paint his beard. Take a quick look. Yes, okay, cool. I have a bigger reference image behind me, like behind the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
So peek behind the curtain to figure out how his beard looks. But I think he looks pretty dope right now. Get a little creative here. To recap my character from last week, since I don't think I ever actually did, last week I built Henry Walsh Esquire, hero name as of yet undecided, Challenger Initiative head lawyer, and brutal physical powerhouse. Very cool, RPD. Small base. So it was 7 years ago yesterday that my team won, my pub trivia team won Nerd Trivia, which is notoriously like harder than regular pub trivia.
Yeah.
And my buddy John, one of the guys who I went to Six Flags with, has a bitter rivalry with his brother, much like Adam and Paul do, about the Goku Superman thing.
Yeah.
And and the question is, which is the better Wa? And just overall. And we determined once and for all that day that T-Dubs is indeed the better Wa. At least when it comes to trivial information. Oh, I know what's going on. Did I fix it? It did. Ha! Fixed it. I fixed the green dots. It was my monitor. There was a My Little Pony question that won the game for us, of all things.
Nice.
Miss Drake, you are absolutely, unequivocally, 100% correct. In a fight between Goku and Superman, the winner is Batman and Vegeta. No, I take that back. There is one winner, and it is Boba Fett.
Nah, it's probably Chuck Norris.
But Boba Fett, though, that's a tough call. Boba Fett or Chuck Norris? I think that's what ends up happening is the Goku and Superman fight devolves into a fight between Boba Fett and Chuck Norris. He's another character who came together in the making. The tone of him ended up being protagonist of a Yakuza game. My money's on Mr. Satan. Oh my god, Hercule! I love Hercule! I gotta, it has been so long since I watched DBZ.
Yeah, I was about to say,
go ahead.
I haven't watched since I was high school, maybe.
Yep, that's exactly how long it's been for me. That was what we used to do for my buddy Chris's birthday every year.
Like, the one exception was when, the Resurrection F or whatever movie came out in theaters.
Yep.
I dragged Casey to go watch it for no reason other than pure nostalgia. A lot of the characters were there that I'm like, I think I remember those characters, but they were very different because several of them were adults now.
Right.
Some of the characters didn't exist then.
Right.
Casey, who had never watched a single Dragon Ball Z movie, had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I had to kind of explain to her the rundown of Frieza and what Frieza was. Which is probably the last Dragon Ball Z I actually did watch.
It was the Boo Saga for me. Oh shoot, that was way too thick. Fix it.
Although, in terms of random trivia,
yeah,
we used to part of our Christmas party we'd play Jackbox or whatever, and they have all their random little games and stuff like that. And one of them was a trivia one, and our team was going along, and it was really close, but we started lagging behind.
Mm-hmm.
The final question for all the marbles was name all of the American Girl dolls.
Oh!
And my sister grew up and had them all.
Oh no, that's awesome!
And so I was able to pull it out of my ass and like named all of them and got us the points to win. That I just happen to remember all of these names from middle school.
That's terrific, man. Being a school librarian, like I can name a fair few of them, but that's wow. Hats off to you, man. That's an impressive pull.
I think it was only the core, so I think there was only like 6 of them or 5 of them. As opposed to like I'm not sure how many like additional ones got added over the years.
Yeah, I could get about half of them. And again, I'm up to 4. Gun to head pub trivia, I could probably pull it off. But my pub trivia team used to be really, really good. We were Team Steve Holt. And, exclusively so we could, every time they announced an answer that we got right, we could jump up and yell Steve Holt, which of course we did.
That's another show that I need to do another run-through of soon.
That's an every year one for me.
Okay. Forgive me while I consult my app.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see it. Okay.
A game of Trivia Murder Party by naming 3 Instagram filters by accident. RPD, you are my hero. Not that you weren't already, but, like, that's awesome. The D&D session kind of devolved into a DBZ episode where the 2 rogues were Goku and Vegeta going off and doing things, and then the fighter and I were the Z fighters. I got a bag of tricks and immediately used it and spawned a panther, and we joked that while the rogues were doing these big political plays, the fighter, the panther, and I were playing Pictionary. The panther won. Awesome, Miss Drake. I love it. Alright, just a little bit more of the Rhinox hide and base coating. Well, I gotta do the Lancer still too. Actually, Lancer. I've also decided my character will treat her bag of tricks like Unity treats Mr. Chomps. No matter what comes out of it, it will be the Panther. Nice. Miss Drake, I told you about the mixed format RPG that my buddy Logan is running, where we have characters built in like half a dozen different RPG systems, and it's all Daybreak. It's another one that's on hold, but I'm excited to get back to it at some point.
A friend of mine was just talking with me about apparently a planet in Star Wars that involved like a some accident, shipwreck, huge colony ship crashed there. They got stranded, and essentially reverted back to like a sort of feudal medieval type style technology level and everything, like over like millennia after being stranded. And he wanted to try and do a game where you start out as a like a D&D campaign until you're like 5th level or so. Like make your character and then move it over to the FFG's Star Wars, and like surprise you're actually in the Star Wars universe. And copy like move your characters over.
Yeah.
Thought it'd be interesting. I figured some of it might be a little hard to copy over 1-to-1. But it'd be neat to see.
Yeah. One thing I'm shocked I've never done in any story planning is spending a segment playing a completely different game. Like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I like that idea, RPD. So I'm adding a little bit of gray to the undercoating on this guy. I wasn't happy with it all being just kind of one color. I think I'm a little happier with how it's coming out. We played an actual blackjack game. Oh, nice! It was a fantasy-based Pokemon tabletop campaign, and we wound up using a legendary Pokemon egg and lifelong servitude of a party member. Nice. Yeah, okay. That's a little nicer. Cool. Ooh. I'm at that point where I'm like sitting here staring at the model, willing it to be slightly different. I've accidentally done antagonizing people on Facebook. Which is something I love doing. Because my solution is just to leave. So you know what's tough to think about?
What?
We would be leaving for Gen Con very soon if this were a normal year.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that the other day. Was goodness, did I ask off for the whole week? I might have been like on my way up there already. Spent a couple days early.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Hurts, man. Feels bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Decision made. An iron breaker. There it is. Come with me on this journey as I paint a picture of words once again. Go for it, RPD. Word pictures.
I expect 1,000 of them. 1,000 words, RPD.
Single spaced. Times New Roman, 12 point. Although that's more for page count, isn't it? Oh dear. My Ironbreaker is being uncooperative.
I find that it separates way too much, the Ironbreaker, and it's really hard to get it to reconstitute.
Yeah. I got it. This will work, but... So I've decided I'm definitely going to use a little bit of Blood for the Blood God on the chainsaws.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's going to look freaking rad.
Make it look like it's been used.
Yeah. It's the arc I just described with the side game of Twilight Struggle concluded. The heroes have won and had the China card on their side at the end. They're storming Big Perestroika base, but they're not doing too hot. They agree to take a major twist to cash in their reward for holding the China card. Okay. Yep, a little dirt will do that good. I'll be pretty happy with this model. Okay, cool. Oh boy. Alright. Dirt. There's the old janky brush. Ooh. I love what improvement just a little bit of gray dry brushed over the brown makes.
Yeah, until a few weeks ago when I did Watchmen, I hadn't really ever thought about dry brushing different colors over things.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like I would dry brush like, oh, I want a highlighted blue, so let me use this like Chronos blue or something over, and like, okay, fine, whatever. Like I'd never really considered the, oh, like I want this effect, so let me dry brush this on top.
Yeah.
Until I wanted to kind of get that quasi orangey purple like Bubastis look.
Right.
And I just kind of messed with it, and it's like I started with the like an orangey rat flesh typey color, and then just dry brushed like the lilac purple over it, and
right.
it worked great.
Yeah, it was just something I kind of stumbled upon. I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat dirt effect. Suddenly, a wall is blown down by a cannon fire as Mordengradian forces storm the compound, climaxing with Baron Blade showing up in person, completely serious, lacking the usual dramatic stream. My name is Ivan Grigori Ramanat, and you will pay for what you have done to my family, my people, and my nation of Mordengrad. Actually agreeing to provide the heroes Mordengrad military escort out of here in exchange for letting him take it from there. Nice. That's awesome. Oops. What's going on here? Bit and we'll move on to the Coal Train. I'm gonna patch up the Lancer a little bit too, but that's fine. Coal Train runs on whole grain, baby. Woo! Yes. That's what I should do.
So as much as I know it's a bad idea,
Uh-oh.
I'm standing here. Well, not standing. I'm sitting. I'm sitting here working. I've got the flesh tone out, and I'm working on Padme, and I keep thinking.
Oh, you keep tempted.
And I'm like, I really shouldn't, but I'm really tempted.
Ugh, that's rough, man.
I really don't want to.
No. I don't want you to have to deal with that anguish. All right, inking. Boy, these cog models came together really fast. Or this cog model did. Anyway. I'm trying so hard to get his hair right because it's so short I have to paint it on.
Uh-huh.
Fortunately, at least it's black, so it is not that difficult. Right. Inking. Inking is next. No, killing this mosquito is next.
Total fire.
Yeah, right? It's been biting me like under the table for days. Alright, this whole model is getting a coat of Agrax Earthshade, including the flesh. It's a little bit odd, if you ask me, but that's fine. I guess the Lancer will get Nullin Oil. Liquid dirt. Alright, because there's some blue on this model, I get to bust out my favorite of the Citadel shades.
Which one's that?
Drakenhof Nightshade. This one. So what I used to do with my Dark Elves, which I actually have examples of here. Oh my god, where are they? Where is you? There he is. Way down back over here. I used to just drench the whole model in Drakenhof Nightshade to give them this like cool pallid blue color. That I absolutely adore. So I'm excited to bust this color back out. There are a few images in my head more satisfying than finally, just this once, getting to see Baron Blade utterly crush something and finally getting the display of what the Mordengradian military-industrial complex has always been said to be capable of. Heritage may have a big speech on the threat of freedom the return of Stalin symbolizes, but that is nothing on just how personal it is for Blade. Yeah. Mike, were you at the booth? It must have been a couple of years ago now, when Craig forgot Heritage's name.
No, I was not there for that.
That was freaking funny. He's like blundering around trying to explain what happens in the RPG timeline to someone in a nutshell. And he's like, I can't remember what Legacy renames himself. Zach, what? You usually know this stuff. I'm like, Heritage? It took me completely by surprise. It was odd. An interesting interaction at best. We'll see more of this Drakenhof Nightshade when we get to Baird, but got a little bit on Dom here. For Nolan Oil on the Lancer. Cool. I think that is base coat on Baird, or sorry, Dom, complete. A little hard to see him. And we'll load up Coltrane. Largely the same, slightly different uniform. Is that the green uniform? No, it's not. Okay, never mind. Everything's fine. All right. New color here, we're going Catachan Flesh Tone. East. I like what you did with Obi-Wan's hair.
Huh?
I like the color you used for Obi-Wan's hair. I think that matches really nicely.
The Mornfang?
Yeah,
I used the chocolate brown for Padme's because they both have brown hair, but I wanted them to still be distinct.
absolutely.
So yeah, I went with the Mornfang brown, which is a touch lighter
That makes sense.
for Obi-Wan.
His hair is always...
Yeah, by the time you start getting to the like episode 3, it starts like really like lightening up and reddening a touch more.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a color correction thing that they did in post or what that is, but I watched, or I guess I should say I saw a clip of the lightsaber duel from episode 1 again recently, where Obi-Wan slices Darth Maul in half.
Mm-hmm.
I'd forgotten just how epic that moment was.
Yeah.
Like I openly condemn episode 2 or episode 1. I hate it because of how badly it damaged my perception of Star Wars. But there were a couple of moments in that movie that were just top notch.
Yeah, there were a lot of really good moments in there, and I feel like it was the problem with the entire prequel trilogy is like there's a great story hidden underneath it. You just have to wade through so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Like find those gems.
At the same time, I thought the pod race was dope, and I wanted more of that. I guess I got it in a way in a form of Episode 1 Racer, the video game, but
yeah.
I recently played through that again. God, that was a fun game.
Yeah, I never really enjoyed it as much playing it like just on console, but I loved playing it in the arcade where you had the actual like
right
model engines and stuff. Like that was fun.
Oh, my camera has died. My camera's doing dying. Okay. That was odd. But yeah, no, that arcade setup was something else. I mean, it was functionally the same game, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty much the same game, just your controls were the 2 throttles and you were, yeah.
I mean, why fix what's not broke, right?
Yeah.
Man, this guy had more skin showing than I initially thought. I knew it was a bunch, but dang. All the skin. Cool. Oh dear. Oh, we weren't anchored down. So how are the monkeys this week?
Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago when we started the radiation treatment for the group, one of them didn't make it, and we found him passed away Friday morning.
Oh, that sucks.
And that was also like the same day we had already scheduled another one of ours that has had a bone tumor growing in his skull.
Ooh.
That rapidly progressed over the past 2 weeks. So we'd got it all set up to necropsy and euthanize. So it was just the 2 in 1 day. After working long hours doing the radiation treatments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got 16 or 20 hours of overtime the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because we take them to the hospital and we have to go in times that are odd and they don't have other patients and other stuff in the facility. Right. So I'm very glad that I finally have the day off tomorrow because I'd been working 3 weekends in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Without any days off.
Dang. Yeah, I'm also going to enjoy my day off tomorrow. At the top of the show, Miss Drake was asking, I mentioned how many boxes of comics I'd sorted this week, and my back is just annihilated because of it.
Yeah.
You know something that I've always admired about Star Wars?
What?
A lot of their color palettes, especially on-world color palettes, are very plain.
Mm-hmm.
You think about Rey, you think about Padme, you think about Luke in early episodes.
Yeah.
but they do so much with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like a fully fleshed out thing, even you utilizing a minimal color palette. It's just so impressive.
Yeah. There's, I mean, I guess like just the style, like even starting out with in the original one, like George Lucas was phenomenal with how he like designed the world and
Yeah.
everything. I think he got a little too full of himself, but
I would agree.
like he always needed that Spielberg to be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like just be his friend and not be surrounded by yes men all the time.
Right. I think a lot of directors need that, though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, like, the Chris Nolans of the world. Quentin Tarantino, even.
Ooh, yeah.
Great directors. Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say Quentin Tarantino is one of those directors. It's like very hit or miss. Whether like some of his stuff I've loved and some of his stuff I've really hated.
Yeah, same. I still have to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, I've heard that's really, really good.
I really want to see that one too. I have not gotten a chance to yet.
I've been rewatching for the zillionth time Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so they, I just got to the bit in Endgame where Captain Marvel shows up, so the very beginning. And I was like, as much as I did not think Captain Marvel was a particularly terrific movie, I recognize that it's not for me, and maybe I should give it another shot. Because I've seen it a grand total of once.
That's one more than I have.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
Yeah.
We are not its target audience, and I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it was just a time when I started to already get burned out on MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Just so much coming out, and I came out just like in the middle of March, and I was just busy and just never got around to it. It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, I hear you. A whole bunch of us went together, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. It is what it is. But at the end of it, I was like, okay, that sure was a thing that just happened. And everybody else was, half the group I was with were like, oh my god, that was so good. And the other half was like, that was really stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can figure out the division there. But I understand the point. Even if it is a little heavy-handed at times.
Yeah. Yeah, like Casey went and saw it and was very mad about it.
Yep.
She was like, it's okay. Like, it's not great.
It's not a cinematic masterwork by any stretch of the imagination. And I can't say I wanted it to be. I can't say I expected it to be. I definitely didn't.
I mean, yeah, it's an
but,
MCU movie.
Yeah, they're kind of the epitome of corporate Hollywood. at this point, but I don't know. I'll give it another shot, and we'll see where I come down on it. Ow! Oh, ow!
You right?
Yeah. So, when I was in 3rd grade, I cut my thumb really, really badly on a SpaghettiOs can. To the point where I needed like nerve reconstruction surgery.
Yeah.
And so 2 of my nerves in that part of my thumb healed fine after surgery. The other one was completely demolished. So every once in a while I'll like put pressure on it wrong, and it sends just massive tingles all up my arm.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really big pain.
Okay. I think Padme's done
Nice.
and ready for washing.
Excellent, excellent.
Obi-Wan, I just got to touch up a few more spots. So let's get the blue because his lightsaber is one of those spots.
Oh yeah. How do you do the lightsabers? I've seen a number of different methods, and I'm wondering what your preferred line of thinking is.
I don't go too fancy with them. I tend to just hit their base color. So blue, green, red, or whichever I'm using. Then like I do like a slight dry brush for a lighter scale. Just to get a little variance, and I do like a tiny little bit of white, like down the center, just like from like a single angle type bit.
Yep. That makes sense.
And sometimes I don't even do like the full line, like length of the lightsaber, like white. Sometimes I'll just do like, here's a few millimeters here, a few millimeters there.
Yep.
So it's a little less like consistent, considering it's just like a flow of energy.
Yep, that makes sense. I gotcha.
And then I do what I can to do like kind of a glow effect on the mini.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Some people do the glows that are just like way overboard, where like Darth Vader's like completely red. It's like no.
Yeah, that's
how glow works.
Yeah, that's foolish. See, my thinking, I think if I were to do a lightsaber, it would be, I would use either the I might just honestly go with a white and use some of the technicals. The new Citadel technicals. What are they called? Like if I was doing the green, I would use the Hexwraith Flame. Something like that.
Yeah, I need to try some technicals. I don't have any. I keep saying that like every week when you bring them up. I really need to get some. I went to the local game shop last weekend. And I think I told you I got like some, what was it, Wraithbane something? I need some white primer, and I didn't realize that was for contrast paints.
Yeah, they don't label that very well.
And what didn't help was like I couldn't go like into the store.
Oh,
like,
and it's still
enter, but then I was like, I need white primer, like spray can of it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't like go and look at the rack because I wanted to go look at the paint rack and be like, what's here? Like, because I wanted to get like I forget what the purple watch is that Citadel has, and like I wanted to like look at the technicals and kind of pick up a few and see what was up.
Yep.
But I just did not like. I couldn't go to the thing, and they're like, "What colors do you need?" I'm like, "I don't know. That's the whole point. I'm here. I wanted to look at them."
Yeah, I guess that's the benefit of having keys to the stores. I just like, even in lockdown, I'd be like, I need paints. Okay, I'm just going to let myself in the store and go get paints.
Yeah. Time for a reference photo.
Where I'm going way harder on details on the cog than I did on the Locust.
Yeah.
I guess that shouldn't come as a surprise. You're gonna spend players are gonna spend a lot more time looking at the cog than they are on any given Locust model, so.
Okay. How ballsy do I feel?
I mean, you know my answer to that. So hard.
The pauldrons for Obi-Wan. Do I do the Jedi symbol, which is slightly more complicated, or the Republic symbol?
I mean, neither one of those is particularly easy.
But the Republic one is, like, significantly easier.
Yes, that's true.
No, I'm going Jedi.
Are you?
Yeah.
I guess I can't blame you. Oops. Note to self, putting one's elbow on a remote control is a recipe for disaster. gray, and then we'll do the torso.
I'm using like my pupils of the eye dot brush.
Oh,
To get,
really?
like tiny control for drawing this thing. And it's not terrible, all things considered.
Nice.
I think it's pretty solid.
One of the first the first kit bash I ever did was Boba Fett, because there wasn't a good model of him at the time. And I drew the Mandalorian symbol on his shoulder, and I was so proud of it. Still am, for that matter. That was a long time ago.
Now time for the epic baseball. According to the reference picture, I did it on the wrong shoulder.
Oh no!
So he's just gonna live with that.
Yo, yeah, absolutely.
It's there. I should have consulted first. Okay. Details are all there. Doesn't look like I've missed any spots. Maybe a touch on Padme's wrist.
Chains are Lancer and... Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's wrong. So Cole's armor is unique.
Yeah. How so?
Well, so it's patterned the same way as the Lancer, in so much as it's a metallic black with white accents, where the entire rest of Delta Squad wears the like brown with blue.
Mm-hmm.
In some variation. So I'm experimenting with how to make it all look uniform. And I think I got it. I think it'll work. It involves copious amounts of melon oil to dull out the dry brush of Ironbreaker.
So for Padme's boots and like Obi-Wan's cloaks, I went with the Xandri dust for like a lightish brownish color.
Yeah.
So right now I'm doing the wash, and I'm actually using the Seraphim Sepia instead of like a Agrax.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm really happy with how it's turning out.
Yeah, the sepia is really cool for that kind of thing. That's what I was using on the over the Rakarth flesh for the drones.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm really happy with it. All right. Yes, I need the reference photo, and I need to figure out what parts are white. And what pattern is for the white. Nope. This ought to work. And we're right back to the Rakarth flesh here. Because Cole's armor's got white accents. At least in this game. In other games, he had like a sick green accent to his armor. I briefly considered doing that, and I was like, I've made enough quiet nods to the other Gears franchise games. I'm liking this. I need to go to a smaller brush though. Yeah, I do. Definitely, for sure. Oh, shoot.
What?
I slopped a bunch of white where I didn't want it. But I got it. It's fine. There we go. So I think my parents are venturing down your way soon.
Are they?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
brings them this way?
Well, my aunt and uncle live on the Outer Banks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, a couple of times a year, my parents head down there to visit them. And they're doing, you know, the whole bring all the food with them, and you know, don't have to go to the grocery store, etc., which I respect.
Yeah.
Like that is the correct way to do that right now. Thank you. They went down in April, like, you know, at that point in the quarantine. And I was like, what are you doing? That is, don't stop. What? No, don't do that. Mm-hmm. And they went anyway, and they were fine. So this time I'm just like, all right, whatever.
That's on you.
Yep. But I think if things cool down a little bit, Katie and I will head down with them next April for a couple of days. We used to go every year when my brother and I were small. And ever since we got busy with other things, we haven't done that. Or I haven't done it. My brother still
Mhm.
does, but he's a little closer with my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Cousins, I should say. Not that I'm not close with my cousins, because I definitely am, but my brother's just a little closer. And so I think it's just a little bit more, I guess, familiar territory to him.
Yeah.
We used to go down, like, when we were growing up, you know, it was all the aunts and uncles, all the cousins, just like literally all of us crammed
Yeah.
into the house. So, you know, the cousins that I am closer with were there, and so I didn't bother to spend quite as much time with my brother and Sean. But it is what it is. It's still a beautiful area. One more and then inking. Oh, yes? Oh. Water droplet stuck to the brush. Went to shake the paint can. Felt a drop. I'm like, uh-oh.
That out of the way.
Oh, Cole looks good. I am very pleased with how this is coming out. So believe it or not, before I started, I can prove this, these models were red. They're made of red plastic. And they looked ugly as sin. Alright, I think it's down to inks here. Is that where you're... Yeah, that's where you're on, right?
Yeah, I'm on inking.
Cool, I guess we're going to wrap up at about the same time tonight. Agrax. Get some brushes out of the way first. So I gotta figure out what color. I'm supposed to ink his skin. Flesh shade. Oh, okay. That was easy. I guess I probably could have figured that one. Probably could have guessed that one. Wow, flesh shade is impressive.
Took the Reichland flesh.
Yeah, even over the.
Yeah. Just hitting a Padme with that right now.
Well, even over this dark flesh, this really stands out. Well done, Games Workshop. Words I so rarely say. For any reason. And a little bit of Nuln Oil. And he's ready to go to bed. Get out.
Most of this stuff.
Ah, it's a hand.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
I lost my white sheet. There it is. So we got Padme. If I can
Come on, camera.
work in that direction.
Yeah! Wow.
I think we need to go a little bit heavy on the dry brushing to highlight. The wash really darkened up the white.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding too.
I wanted to.
I love that pose for that model.
Yeah.
Like, holy moly. That is so cool.
Got to see. Let's rotate him so you can see the. If the camera will focus.
Come on, camera. Do your job. There it is. Oh, yeah. And for me, I got the first two of the cogs. Ready to rock and roll. I too am going to have to do a fair amount of dry brushing tomorrow. A fair amount more dry brushing. But I think they look pretty good for a starting point.
Yeah, they look great.
Thank you. All right. Well, with that, a bit of a short stream tonight. Only coming in just over 2 hours, but sometimes that's just what it takes. So special thanks to Collectibles Unlimited, where I work, not gonna lie, for supplying me with my paint. Broody, do you want to give your store a shout out?
I mean, I ordered most of my paints from Amazon, but a lot of them came from Borderlands Comics and Games down in South Carolina.
All right.
That's how long I've had them.
All right. Well, yeah. So we will be back here for our Not at Gen Con edition. Maybe we'll see if we can finagle getting a special guest on the show next week. Maybe either Adam or Daryl or someone will want to come on. Until then, I will be back on the Handelabra Games channel tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for Tales from the Archive. I will be back right here for Zach Sucks at Games on Thursday, and we'll have some Arkham shenaniganery on Friday after our Citizen event. So time TBD. Watch my Twitter at DENONCZD for that. Broody, always a pleasure, my dude. Always good to hang out.
Yes, it is. I had a ton of fun tonight.
Me too. So yeah, we will talk to you all next week. Have a good one. Bye.